You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
Stugotz, why are you and Jessica laughing? What can that come on air, or are you just doing show for yourselves there?
It was one of the worst jokes Stugotz has ever made. We were thinking of athletes who connote the monarchy because offline we were talking about this whole Kate Middleton thing, which we'll get to later. And I was like, Patrick Queen, Prince Fielder, and Stugotz said Harry Carey.
Harry Carey. Wow.
It's a good one. I gave you Tayshaun Prince as well. I mean,
Duke Johnson, by the way.
Not bad. That is a bad. You need to work on your Harry Carey.
come on.
Yeah,
Better?
A little better.
I gotta find it.
It's rusty. No, it's rusty.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Okay, keep practicing. Keep practicing, and maybe by the end of the segment, you will have it so that we can do this correctly. Jemele Hill is with us. We are forming the cabinet, trying to form the cabinet, whether it's Jesse Ventura or Aaron Rodgers for a new presidential run, better than the options that we're given, Jemele. And I want to laugh at this, but I also I don't want to be too flippant about. I mean, is it all jokes, or is there stuff here that I should fear? Just generally fear.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why you feel uncomfortable laughing is because you're looking at what our political world looks like right now, and it would be amusing if it weren't also terrifying. And if it weren't also meaning that we were picking, arguably the most important leader in the world, when you look at all the things that have happened, I mean, we have a presidential candidate who's running, who is facing 91 indictments, who owes so much money because of, liable rape allegations, because of what he owes the state of New York. I mean, like, there's so much there that you now look at the possibility of Aaron Rodgers being a serious vice presidential candidate and say to yourself, well, it's not the weirdest thing that we've seen, because look at our current politics. So there are some jokes to be made, but there's also a part, I think, running through everybody's mind that's saying, like, okay, this is jacked up, but I could actually see it happening. Maybe not in winning, but like this seriously becoming a campaign.
Jemele, I would say that one of the great jokes of the cosmos is the idea that your last 8 years dedicated to journalism blew off sideways because you said the tamest of things that now has been like mushroom. That is mushroom clouded into I just said this one little thing of this is white supremacy here, and now it's mushroomed into 91 felonies and it's kind of amazing how tame your controversy is now, given that it was just a few years ago and it seemed like a big deal at the time.
Oh, if anything, you could say I took it easy. I mean, really. I mean, calling him a white supremacist is the least of the troubling things that we have come to later discover about Donald Trump. But unfortunately, the unfortunate part of his presidency, and there are many unfortunate parts, but one of them is that now I think a lot of people feel like they can do the job, that they deserve to be in political office because he won. And because now he's considered he's obviously the GOP frontrunner. If you're Aaron Rodgers, regardless of the numerous idiotic things that you said, why would you think you don't have a chance at this? Our political cycle literally proves you have a great shot at perhaps becoming the vice president simply because of your name, simply because he has a legion of people who do not mind his bullshit. So here you go. Congratulations, Aaron Rodgers.
Jemele explaining her controversy now is like me trying to explain why 2007 NBA All-Star Game was so crazy because people were smoking weed out in public. It's like you say it and people are like, and? No, you don't get it. Back then, that was crazy. Now it's like, yeah, so you just another day.
Or just the idea in general, I mean, of sports being in Vegas, right? Like major legitimate sports happening, you know, not boxing, not what we normally see. They're like, there was an NBA All-Star game there, and people thought that was like quite controversial. It's like, really? They have like every team now. Like, I don't even understand this. So yeah, some things practically, I guess in the reverse, don't age well.
Let's play for Jemele here. Speaking of, everyone can run for president now, because I saw that The Rock was making fun of Ronaldo because Ronaldo buys his followers, and The Rock has, like, people think The Rock could be president because he's popular enough. And so here's Steph Curry not ruling it out. Listen to this.
Do you have an interest in politics?
I have an interest in leveraging every part of my influence for good in the way that I can. So if that's the way to do it, then I'm not saying the presidency, but if politics, that's May, babe. But I'm saying if politics is a way that you can create meaningful change, or if there's another way outside of politics, you know, that we can do.
You're not ruling it out?
No.
2028, you never know.
Not that soon.
Not that soon, okay.
Okay, he's not going to do that.
He'd win.
I mean, not ruling it out. He's just giving a televised answer. Like
I could have said definitely not.
No, I could.
Yeah, like the option is me to say no. Dan, you could be like, politics, that's absurd, but he sort of entertained it.
I can't wait to play back Dan saying he's not going to do that when Steph Curry's running for president.
President Curry. Oh my God.
He literally hit her with a "you never know."
What do you mean? Didn't you guys didn't hear that the same way? Where Steph Curry seems he is publicly polite, and so he wants to do good, but not president. You think Steph Curry is going to be like a cabinet member?
Draymond Green, Secretary of Defense.
Yeah. Yep.
Easy call. Easy call.
No one will mess with us.
Imagine if Steph was just like, what a stupid question. Let's move on. He's never going to say that.
Steph can't say that.
See, that would be him denying it.
Right.
If he's just like, that's absurd. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But he's just like, no, 2028's too early.
Jemele, what do you make of the normalization of scandal? The idea that everyone now thinks they can be president. All you have to do is have your audience.
Dan, this is just a continuation of what we're already seeing in other sectors of our society, right? A lot of people now think they could be journalists just because of social media, and they've been able to step into that lane. You see probably on these red carpets now, we just had the Oscars, you probably see way more influencers than you do, people who are legitimate entertainment reporters. I mean, social media and the ability to captivate and have and maintain an audience has become the premium factor to how we're deciding things. Again, using Hollywood as an example, there are people, and actors talk about these things both privately, and some are brave enough to say it publicly, is that there are studios that would rather put an influencer in certain roles in movies and TV shows because they know that they can attract an audience. They don't care if they're trained. They don't care if they have the chops to actually act for longer than 30-second clips. That person brings an audience to the table, and therefore that legitimizes them. And so, yes, we are in a time where the idea of picking a quarterback, by the way, who at some point lectured to everybody about how that he didn't want any distractions and how the Jets and everything should be all about business and all about football. And now we see behind closed doors, he's been having talks about, one of the most important positions that you can hold in this country. But I just think we're at a point in society where if you can capture and have an audience, you can practically be considered for anything.
Jemele, on to more important things. On your Instagram account, you and your husband told a story about going to a restaurant. Your husband came out and the valet said, "Wow, what do you do for a living?" Because your husband was dressed real nice and a nice car pulled up or whatever. and you guys had a disagreement on whether this was a compliment or whether this was, in fact, like kind of like, oh, what do you do? So did you get to the bottom of it? I know you opened it up to your followers to answer and leave comments. Did you get to the bottom of whether this was, in fact, a compliment or not?
Okay, well, but I guess before I give the answer and the context, I mean, do I get the neighborhood race lady music? Because
hold on a
we're
second.
About to take,
hold on a second. Yes.
1 second.
Chris Cote, good work. Good work as always.
It's time for your friendly neighborhood race lady.
You're good.
Thank you for producing our producer. He seemed to be texting somebody at the time.
What was the question?
So here's the situation of what happened. My husband and I, we had a little date night last week. We went to this very wonderful restaurant called The Linden here in Los Angeles and had a great time. We're coming out to leave the restaurant, and my husband is a little bit ahead of me because I think I might have gone to use the bathroom. So I came out a little later. And in the car, he explained to me that as soon as he handed the valet ticket, and his car was parked right outside, he said, "Is that your car?" And my husband said, "Of course, yes, that's my car." And he's like, then he asked him, what did he do to get a car, basically like that. And I was coming out, I guess, right after he asked him this, and I just heard my husband say, "Get you a good woman in your life." And I think that valet also said, "Any advice?" as well. He's like, "What'd you do to get a car like that? Any advice?" And he said, get you a good woman in your life. Now, I threw this out as a debate on social media, on Instagram, on my Instagram account, because, when you're Black and you're in certain spaces or you have certain things, a lot of people look at you like, how did you get in this room? Or how did you get that? Like, something isn't adding up. This doesn't fit the picture of how I thought Black success would be, if you even thought Black success was attainable. And so I kind of took offense to him asking. My husband was like, "No, I think he meant it genuinely." And so I put it out there for people to, debate and give me their thoughts and perspective. The number one question that was asked, what was the ethnicity of the person who asked it? That was number one, okay? And so I will tell everyone who either has gone to my Instagram or will go now after this conversation, the valet who asked was Latino. So I don't know how that impacts how people think about the situation. But I just know that there is, to me, a fine line between genuine, legitimate curiosity, and then on top of that, or between genuine, legitimate curiosity, and then kind of being a little too intrusive, and perhaps a question like this coming off, the wrong way. Because like this has happened to me so many times where people are like, "Well, how'd you do that? Like, how are you in first class? Or what do you do for a living?" And I really hate that. And especially from my husband, who is often confused for a professional athlete. And one time somebody was it's true.
He loves
it's like, they're like, so he's checking all the boxes. It's like, Black dude, nice car, good physique. They're like, surely he plays for the Ravens. It's like, no, he's in medical devices. What can I tell you? Sorry, it's not more glamorous than that. But, he, of course, like Amin said, like, he's like, "I got a nice body and I'm glad they confused me." But I'm like, no, babe, you have to see the racism in this. Why do you got to be a professional athlete? Why can't you own a dry cleaners? Like, why do you have to, why does some ball sport have to be involved?
Goodbye, race lady.
Friendly neighborhood race
Thank
lady.
you. This is what it's like being married to me.
Hello, friends. It's Mike, and a lot has changed over the years. One thing that hasn't, great taste of Miller Lite. It was the original light beer, and to this day, it is still the best one. Miller Lite has more of the taste that you want and less of the stuff that you don't. I'm so grateful for Miller Lite because it supplements all my good times. It makes good times great times. Whether it be football season, basketball season, or baseball season, in all likelihood, your team is not living up to expectations. A few good moments made better by Miller Lite, and the bad times are made less bad thanks to Miller Lite. Oh, I love you, Miller Lite. I love you because you keep it simple. Undebatable quality. Great taste. Only 96 calories. Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. When you're hiring for your small business, You want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meteoric Media continues to grow as a content studio and as a multimedia company, we strive to hire only the best and the most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they've made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all of that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of the small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/prep to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Dan Le Batard.
Number 3, Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Yeah, we can get mine.
Love it.
I mean,
Nah, I think it's an overrated fry.
you guys go ketchup or Chick-fil-A sauce when you have the Chick-fil-A fry?
Polynesian sauce.
Polynesian,
Wow.
that's my brother right there.
Good call.
You're my brother.
Stugotz.
Oh my God.
What a weird interaction.
Wow.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Chris, your father came in here yesterday and he was feeling his mortality a bit. He's been skipping and laughing through life. He's an overgrown toddler. He's gotten to 70 years old and he's learned next to nothing other than to drink beer and enjoy himself. And he's not domesticized. His brother, Uncle Dick, is totally crazy. And Greg is only not crazy because Erlene raised 3 kids. Greg Cote and their 2 boys. And Greg Cote comes in here yesterday, and he's been feeling himself for a while, right, Chris? Does he remain
Since
out
Vegas,
of
yeah.
Does he remain totally out of control?
Yeah, he doesn't stop talking about he's talking about albums now and live performances. Like it's gone to his head.
Okay, and Billy, you're supporting?
It's just exciting news.
Right, an album.
An album.
I mean,
a tour.
He's like an EP. Like, should it be 6 or 8? It's like, Dad, relax.
Should it be 6 or 8 what?
Songs.
Tracks.
Well, I mean, but theirs are like parody songs, right?
That's the thing is he wants to like write his own like serious country songs.
Well, you'd have to.
I'm like, Dad, you don't get what we're doing here.
I don't think you get it.
It's got to be like we're going. If you're gonna write songs, they got to be a little funny. Like he's just like, no, I want to write a song about my life.
They also need to be original. That's Billy's point.
Well, because if not, it's going to cost you. Like you can't just do other people's music, I would assume, without paying some sort of licensing fee.
He hasn't thought about any of these things. He's just interested in song and freedom, and licensing fees don't cost him anything, and money just rains in from the sky as he sings his song to the heavens. What about this business transaction are you guys not understanding?
I actually kind of like this model, right? Like, just do it and we'll figure it out, right? And he's up there, so maybe he won't have to deal with the ramifications.
Okay, but
leave it for Chris.
He comes in. He comes in yesterday, and he's scared about the future. And it seemed like it was for the first time, Stugotz, because he's talking about AI, and then now he's reading articles, and everyone is now saying, or the worst of the doomsayers on both sides. Like, it's go on Rogan's podcast and say by 2029, artificial intelligence is going to be much smarter than the human race. Like all sides can agree on this.
But is that more like a credit to AI or an indictment on us?
Huh?
Because we're definitely dumber, right? Like we're all time dumb.
Will it matter if we're all underwater? Because you also said yesterday the Inter Miami Stadium would be underwater in 5 years. So.
Right. I am, yes, the Ultimate Warrior would be my wrestling name. And some of this stuff has been plaguing me for a while. But Greg Cote, this is the first time that some of this stuff has reached him, where he's talking about extinction-level events because of AI. And so I just want to ask you guys, much like we had the conversation with Jemele Hill, wasn't that a quaint time at Disney? Jemele Hill called the president a white supremacist, and it was a giant journalism explosion. Everybody gasped, and now everybody's like, oh, God, that was a long time ago. Things have gotten a lot worse since then, huh? That's weird. I don't want normalized the fact that I read in today, Stugotz, coming in today,
Yes.
I read the story that GM, Ford, and Honda are being accused of, and it seems like it is so, spying on you and your vehicles, and then your insurance gets raised because they've got information on you and your vehicles. And are we just so okay with how addicted we are to technology already that we're going to be surprised that the computers are going to take over because they have all of our information? Like they can do everything for us? They've been gathering information on us for years. Are you okay with your car spying on you and relaying that information back to your insurance company so that it raises your insurance rates? Because they've been spying on your car.
I mean, I'm not okay with it, but do I have a choice? I mean, doesn't seem like I have choices anymore. It just seems like people are going to do what they want to do, and I just have to eat it. You know?
Right. The companies get to decide how to use AI. The companies get to decide how to use data tracking on the internet, tracking in our cars. My friend did have one of those cars where you put the thingy in your car and it monitors your driving. And if you do good, I guess your insurance goes
There's
down.
insurance companies that offer that,
Do you
like
have
as an
one of
offer.
those?
I don't, but I know people that do, and it's like
It's the most annoying thing in
Yeah,
the world.
yeah.
Every time she would brake too fast, it would like beep at her. And that was every time she broke because she wasn't a very good driver.
It's like they want you to follow the rules of the road when you have this thing, and it's insane. Don't talk on your cell phone. Put your seatbelt on. Don't speed. Like, what is this?
How about you worry about you and I worry
Don't
about me?
crash into someone else. I'll do what I damn well please.
Drive your own car.
Every 5
Exactly
minutes,
right.
it's like beep. I'm like, what is that? She's like, oh, I did something wrong. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm also car sick, so I could tell without the beep. But
Wait, Billy.
Yeah.
Billy talks to his car.
Billy, wait.
I talk
wait,
to myself.
Billy, wait.
I'm a drag.
I want to be clear on if I saw this correctly, because it seemed to me like you're alone in your car, you're driving, and now you're being agitated by your car because...
Oh, it beeps sometimes when I put my backpack on the passenger seat because my backpack weighs too much, and I'm like, there's no one there. If you're so smart, car, you know it's a backpack, idiot. I can call my car an idiot, okay?
Do you ever
I got the follow-up from my kids. My car I can say it about, all right? Dad, if you're listening, don't take defense or offense about me calling my car an idiot.
Do you ever buckle up your backpack to shut the car up?
yes,
I
I've
have
had to do that
sometimes,
before.
yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
very
It's
stupid every
annoying.
time I do it.
Jeez Louise.
Enough with cars.
Enough with noise.
That
Wish we
too.
could live in a quiet society. Anyway.
Enough with noise is a great thing.
Well, but the thing that made me laugh the most about what seems like a deep-seated resentment that Billy has toward his car. It seems like the car is nagging Billy.
Yes. Give me more gas. Change my oil. What do you do for me?
Billy, well,
Change my
Point A to point
tires.
B.
Point A to point B.
I have to do that. I do that hard work.
No, but that's the car's job. What other job does it have? I mean,
Pay tolls. Do this. Do that.
no, but
Ugh.
wait a minute.
Your car reminds you to pay toll?
I feel like telling my car, hey, car, you're from 2013. You don't even have a backup camera. I could exchange you any minute and get a new model, a hot new model. Just hanging out with you because you don't cost me anything. You're paid off. I'm going to ride you into the ground.
You don't understand why your car doesn't resent that when you say...
I don't say those things. I'm just saying them out now out loud, Dan, because you're bringing it out in me.
Sounds like-
I didn't want to say this publicly. I don't want to publicly fight with my car, but here we are. Here we are.
Who resents who more, Billy, his car, or his car resenting
My
him?
car does stuff to me all the time that it's like, are you again with this? I feel like we've been through this already. Oh, all of a sudden my brake lights don't work. Okay, well, you know what? I'll take care of you. I'm going to take you out. We're going to go to the auto store because I don't know which is our sponsor right now, so I'm not going to say names. I'm going to go to the auto store, get some new light bulbs, get you some fancy new light bulbs. They're going to shine like a Christmas tree. You're going to be a beautiful car.
Right.
Nope. Light bulbs don't work. Why is that? I don't know. You have to change the whole light socket thing. Good news, Billy. You got something in the mail. Extended warranty. They're going to change it. Just take it to the dealer. Okay, I'll take it to the dealer. Well, Billy, are you sure you want to do that? It's $309 to do the test. Well, I have the extended warranty. They sent it to me in the mail. Okay, you'll be fine. And then what happens when I go to the auto dealer? That wasn't the problem. It's another problem. It's going to cost you $700 to change those lights. Damn car. Outsmarting me. Trying to take you out nice. Get you nice fancy light bulbs. Have a nice date. Have other people look at you and say, woo.
never enough.
Look at those rear brake lights on that Hyundai Sonata. Nope.
How about don't be foggy windows one time in the morning?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
What's up with these foggy windows in the morning? How come I have to put my air on like you did that thing?
Condensation?
I know it's kind of like, I don't like it.
Right.
It's like 10, then 20 minutes later, it's magically clear.
That's the point.
I'm
that means
over
it's
it.
working.
Over it.
You would
hit a
hate
button.
living in the north.
I would.
I simply cannot believe, because I did read Billy's body language correctly, and we are now unearthed, and I was not aware that it was there, that not only does Billy have a great deal of deep-seated resentment toward his car.
No, we love each other.
His car also has it toward Billy because he dares to say, what does it do for me? And it says, I'm sleeping back and forth every day, and all you do is complain about me.
Oh, please, you have a good car. Let me tell you something. There's all kinds of cars that don't even leave garages for months on end, just sit in driveways, their batteries die. I take you to see the world. How many people get to see the water every day, car? You do, because you live in Miami.
Kendall in years, Billy.
You drive over
Let
here,
me
you
free.
see Biscayne Bay. How many people can say that? Car, Hyundai Sonata, not many. I do that for you. And what do you do
thought
for me?
you were gonna
Just
turn
cost
me
me
in.
things. Cost me money. I should have turned you in. I
would
saw a
get
new Sonata
life,
looking at me.
Chance.
Oh, please. I could have exchanged you multiple times over.
For an SUV.
I get this stuff in the mail. I see the offers. Don't think I don't think about it. Car.
Why, Billy? Why?
I could go electric. I could go hybrid.
Take it back.
But I
Take
don't.
it back,
You own
Billy.
I
parking
don't
spot.
because I'm committed to this. We're in this together, so I thought.
It's also pricey.
Or so I thought. Car.
Is anyone else picturing Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson?
I'm imagining Billy walking through a dealership and a Sonata giving him the eyes. Like,
It is funny. You are like when you get a new
Don't
car.
think those trunks are getting bigger.
I got a BBL for you.
Having a car at the beginning is like a marriage. It's like at the beginning you're so hot for it, and then like Billy's like 15 years in with this thing.
yeah.
There's
Don't
no more
think I
date.
don't-
There's no more date nights for Billy in his car.
Don't think I don't see the cracks on the interior, whatever that thing is called, dashboard. Embarrassing.
But the body language you had
All I
was
see is the crack of your ass.
the body
dare
language that you had when your car started telling you, I don't know what it was, the thing that made you go over the top, but that resentment came forth. And what I saw, and I haven't seen him in a while, was a Billy Gill who has had enough saying to his car, ya no me jodas. Like, that's it. You're not going to also rise this to the level of nagging me as well.
Correct, but the divorce is going to be costly, so we're in this together.
You don't get to have a voice and also nag me.
I don't know about that.
The car.
Yeah. How did we end up here?
What? It pissed you off. Why did it bother you so much?
I don't even remember how this started.
Why did the car get the car?
Billy blacked out.
Oh, the cars are
Yeah.
listening to us, and now
Oh, yeah,
they're
that's
also.
what it was.
That's right,
Yeah, the cars
yes,
are listening
yes.
to us.
But now
yeah.
they're also
Eat it,
now they're
right.
also
Yeah,
talking
exactly
to
right.
us.
Well, I mean,
Flirting with
But
Billy.
not listening enough.
He does take good care of that car. I mean,
I do?
yeah.
It's full of trash half the time.
Yeah, but you take it to see the water every day.
That's true. Lots of cars don't see the water. That's not disputable.
It's called rain. It gets rained on. That's when it sees the water.
So it is disputable.
Yes.
It's just rain. There are no cars that don't get rained on.
Dan Le Batard.
You are very comfortable talking about how you met your wife, how much you love her, how important she is to you, and that's the reason that I asked the question. I've always admired that about you, that you have no problems whatsoever professing your love.
Well, the thing is, I got a new wife now. You know, me and Bianca didn't make it. So I moved on. We moved on. It was for the better for both of us.
Stugotz.
Things just got a little awkward there. So let me be the first on this show to congratulate you on the new wife, Vince. Congratulations
Thank you.
on feeling whole, feeling complete, you know? Let's talk tailgating. Yeah.
Don't feel awkward, buddy. You know, a lot
Dan,
of
no,
people
I
do.
don't.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
too late
Dan
for that.
does.
It's much too
Dan,
late
it's
for
gonna
that,
sit with
Vince.
him
I
forever.
appreciate you
mean,
soothing me in this regard, but I already feel terribly awkward. And then my teammate comes to my defense with not a question, but
congratulations.
just a healthy congratulations and the further pointing out of that awkwardness because he's always good for me in those spots. I'm also thinking of divorce, Vince, after many, many years, 18 years, with a partner who does things like that to you.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Tuberville route.
Inclusiveness.
Steve Sarkeesian. Tuberville route. Steve Sarkeesian. Inclusiveness. One of the great benefits of being a professional critic, Stugotz, many years, is that we could come onto these microphones and say, we're better than others at everything, and then not be able to correctly publicly speak our criticism.
Well, that's you. I mean,
I know, you're better. Understood. You're better at this. But a lot of people today in football, if yesterday and the last couple of days have been these wacky, fun transaction, like, isn't this great that we all get to watch the NFL have its administration day where the salary cap means players are changing teams, and we love all that stuff, and we eat it up. When one of the things that happens on that day is that the Carolina Panthers, who last year and over the last couple of years have been led poorly, chewed up, whatever that was with Matt Rule, and you make a mistake as simple as Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and you're proper bleeped. And so Carolina thought, I don't know if you know the story of Brian Burns, Stugotz, but so edge rushers are hugely valuable, and the Rams were quicker to some of the values in that sport than the other teams were. And they saw in Carolina an edge rusher that they thought they could get 20 sacks from if we put him on a line with Aaron Donald. And so they offered at one time for Brian Burns. I think they offered 2 firsts and a second for him. And the Panthers said, absolutely not. We do not trade this person. And he had 8 sacks last year for a 2-win team. Mm-hmm. And now they've traded him for like a second and a fifth, and then to make it better, they swapped like one place in the 5th round, but they didn't get nearly as much as they were offered. They were offered a haul for him.
Right.
Like a haul for a pass rusher and his youth. And now the Panthers, before they've gotten to 26 years old, I think have gotten rid of McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and Brian Burns, and they could have gotten a haul. They took Bryce Young, and the reason the Panthers aren't the Texans is because you make that mistake, and it'll set you back, and now you're the laughing stock of the league. You're the worst team in the league, and everybody can see.
You okay?
Did I get $5 there?
It should have been
power
$5.
through it?
Right to Jess.
Clear for me.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Maybe 15.
Well, I mean, she gets it.
But is it 5 or did I tough through it? The larger point I'm making, though, Stugotz, is it's easy for us to criticize, but that is mismanagement of the highest order when I think, I'm pretty sure that they gave up. Yeah, they gave up more for, this is from Will Brinson. They gave up more for Darnold than they got for Burns.
That's crazy. Yeah, they're not a great organization. Also unlucky. And we don't know if Bryce Young's going to turn out to be good. We have no idea. We know C.J. Stroud is very, very good. He could turn out to be good, Dan. But all of that can be corrected if you draft the right quarterback, right? So maybe they didn't do it this time around, but there will be more opportunities, and that can make all the bad stuff go away. It does. Look at the Chiefs. They're the worst-ranked organization. No one likes the owner. No one likes the facilities. Everyone wants to go there. Why? Patrick Mahomes.
I want to bring in Dookie here because you're just saying no one knows what Bryce Young is, and I feel like everybody knows that's not going to be good enough. It's not going to get good enough, fast enough, there enough, like that, and that's over. Am I wrong about this?
I don't think so.
That it was a kind of incompetence you saw last year, that it's not Jared Goff is going to look like that one year, and then I put him in a different offense and he looks like something else. I thought we were all in agreement that the most incompetent quarterback play that there was at the professional level last year was Bryce Young in Carolina.
They must have thought offensive line was the problem because they did spend on 2 guards $150 million the last couple of days. They got Robert Hunt from the Dolphins and Damian Lewis, $150 million for 2 guards.
And traded for Deontay Johnson, right? Yeah. So you're just saying that's it?
Okay, no.
Bryce Young, that's it. You're giving him 1 year and saying that's it. I'm proud of you if that's what you're doing. That's a great take. I mean,
I wasn't actually intending to do that.
Okay.
I just thought everybody had done that.
I think it's just that it's really hard to overcome a disastrous rookie season when you have issues with your coach, offensive coordinator, all of those types of things. Not so much that he was bad, although he was probably the worst of all the first-round quarterback picks. We didn't get to see a full season of all of them. But it's unusual to have a rookie season like that at that position and then come back from it.
It's only because of C.J. Stroud.
That's what hurts him, yes.
Like, if C.J. Stroud
didn't have that season.
But also, Anthony Richardson played really well until he got hurt.
Right.
Oh, but guys, I don't think it's just the micro here. Jordan Love got a little more time, and now we're like, okay, he got there. He's going to be good. We all know he's going to be good. You get the pieces around him, you protect him, you figure it out. You've got a quarterback at value. But if we're going to turn transaction day into all money day and then the running back's not worth anything, Saquon Barkley gets nothing compared to the wide receiver because all the finances of the game have changed. You speed up this quarterback track so much that, hey, Bryce Young, you get 2 years or get out of here. We'll get more value. We'll get the next Caleb Williams. We don't even know if Justin Fields can play anymore if Caleb Williams is available because it's not just the great quarterback that's the greatest value now. No, it's the great quarterback cheap for a few years.
Right.
It's the great quarterback you're good right away. We've sped all this up, Stugotz. So a quarterback now is going to get, are you kidding me? If you set the rookie wage scale on quarterbacks and you say, you don't think that what happened to the running back is going to happen to the quarterback where you've got a year, 2 years, 3 years, or you're out of here. We'll flip over the organization. We'll flip over the finances. It's all about 1 year deal, 2 year deals. We're going to fight you on where the value is at this position.
It's happening already. It happened with the Jets with Zach Wilson. He had a year and a half, and then they went out and got Aaron Rodgers, who's running for vice president.
Carolina is also dysfunctional, right? Like with their owner firing their coach. Like he's not exactly in a great position to succeed right now. So like you can't hold everything against him. He didn't look great, right? But he's also a rookie. Like that happens sometimes. He didn't have a line. His coach got fired midway through the season. Like I don't think you pull the plug on him already.
It's wild how being short really doesn't help you in this sport.
Right.
I feel like if Daniel Jones we gave a long leash to, we're like, we'll give you time. You look kind of athletic. A short guy has a bad year, we're like, not good.
But Daniel Jones won a playoff game on the road against Kirk Cousins. Like, he got that contract. The contract he's currently in right now is only based on that one game in the postseason. One game.
Yeah. In hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best choice.
Even the narrative.
Like, ooh,
on Daniel Jones, though. I just feel like we gave him more slack at the beginning.
I think a better comp would be Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence's rookie season, Urban Meyer gets fired after 15 games. There's scandal. They don't have much of a team around him. And it's fair to question what his career trajectory would look like if there was a little bit more stability just in that year. He's played better since that year, but he's still not the prospect that a lot of people thought he would be coming out of high school and college.
But I think the point Dan's trying to make is with quarterbacks, we used to give them a lot more time. But now having a quarterback on a rookie contract and having a good quarterback on a rookie contract has become the most valuable thing in that sport. If you can have Joe Burrow, if you can have a guy like that. So you have a year or two to get it done. And then the team is on to the next guy. That's it.
Well, quarterbacks also used to sit for like 2 or 3 seasons and learn.
Rodgers did.
Started, yeah.
Well, the thing that
Mahomes did.
The thing that I just like
famously
to ask all of you, if it all speeds up, if all of it speeds up to that rate, I would like to ask for the expertise of everybody in the room. can you all gather together, even at the same time if you'd like, and explain to me the following? Because I want this expert analysis, because if you're going to change the finances of the game, and we're all going to pretend to be interested in the finances, and we're like, I don't think he's worth those $50 million. He's overpaid by $10 million. When Dan Graziano says to you, as he did on national television, he's a credible person, and he says to you, Justin Fields is not worth more than Gardner Minshew, Sam Darnold, Andrew Luck, and Jacoby Brissett. You guys explain that to me. Did the finances of the game change so much that I no longer have any understanding of what the value of things in that sport is?
Let us clear it up for you.
Well,
So the
I
thing
really
about
You guys take a flyer at Justin Fields. Graziano has no idea what he's talking about.
Coordinators
Subs like, you know what Minshew is. You have no idea what Justin Fields is. Dan Graziano, are you kidding me?
Are you crazy?
No idea. We're the Bears. Terrible organization. No wide receivers. No running backs. It's always cold there. The field is frozen. Put him inside in a dome. See what he gets in.
Either way, you don't want to give him an extension if you don't know if he's the guy.
Gardner Minshew comes with no expectations. He already his ceiling.
Yeah. There you go.
Does that explain it?
I just heard in the middle of that a Dan Graziano. Who is he?
Followed up by Graz.
Stugotz.
Fair question.
Stugotz. I mean, what did Dan Graziano do to deserve that?
What has he ever done? That's my point.
No.
Well, Graz, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, Justin Fields upside. He's not bad. I mean, come on. Gardner Minshew, please, $10 million.
Did Graziano report that the Dolphins were going to franchise tag Wilkins? Because I'm here for a feud, just a raging war against Dan Graziano.
It's an odd war.
For daring to say. I mean, I understand it better now that you guys have explained it. But when I say again that he's reporting that Justin Fields isn't worth more than Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett and Andrew Luck, Stugotz.
Yeah, Drew Lock. That's a 5.
Drew Lock.
Andrew Luck.
Sorry. I'd rather have a merging of Drew Luck and Andrew Luck that becomes Andrew Luck. Come on. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm reporting that the Dolphins are not going to tag Christian Wilkins. How about that? Graz.
Who the hell is he? That's going to be the podcast description on this. Graz. Who the hell is he? He came up through this market. He's been a professional. He's been a grinder through the journalism wars.
Run a team already. I mean,
who the hell is he? He's got an accomplished, credentialed journalistic career.
Dan, name his podcast.
Yeah.
He's got a podcast?
Hello, friends. It's Mike, and a lot has changed over the years. One thing that hasn't, great taste of Miller Lite. It was the original light beer, and to this day, it is still the best one. Miller Lite has more of the taste that you want and less of the stuff that you don't. I'm so grateful for Miller Lite because it supplements all my good times. It makes good times great times, whether it be football season, basketball season, or baseball season. In all likelihood, your team is not living up to expectations. A few good moments made better by Miller Lite, and the bad times are made less bad thanks to Miller Lite. Oh, I love you, Miller Lite. I love you because you keep it simple. Undebatable quality. Great taste. Only 96 calories. Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces.
Every fan knows the right player in the right position can be a game changer. Put LifeLock between your identity and identity thieves to monitor and alert you to threats you could miss. Plus, with a U.S.-based restoration specialist on your team, you won't have to face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or other losses from identity theft alone. All backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package. Change the game on identity theft. Save up to 25% your first year at LifeLock.com/aware.